Hello, my name's Joe Orban and I'm your instructor for HRMD 660, Human Resource Technologies. I thought it might be nice to do a little video so that you could see that I'm a real person, even though our class is spread around the world in different time zones, and sometimes all we see of each other are what we type. I'm glad to be here at this course and look forward to working with you. We have a relatively small class, but people with a lot of experience in the HR field. So I hope that we'll be drawing from your experience in the conferences and discussions that we have. By the way, you're seeing me on YouTube or a video file, and this is the future. I think someday, not too far from now, distance education will be done using video conferencing over the internet. Inexpensive, fast, with fairly decent quality, at least for classroom. As I was preparing for this today, I thought that, in addition to an introduction, it's very possible to provide you with a small lecture or some other demonstration that has a visual component to it. HR technology generally doesn't have visuals, but there are things like screenshots, diagrams that might be useful that while they could be put in a file, they're also useful to display in a video that you could point to them and talk about them at the same time. To do well in this class, you have to be familiar with the Web Tyco classroom. If you are, that's great. If you're not, then please take the learning class on how to interact in the classroom, where the links are, how to do various things. Up here in the upper right hand corner of your Web Tyco classroom is a help link. Use it. It's full of information, and sometimes you have to search for it to find what you want, but they have examples and walkthroughs of how to use the classroom. When you come into the classroom and log on, you'll see this announcement page, and usually I have a cute little graphic at the top rather than a video, but right under it, by date or week, we go by weeks here, I'll have the announcements for the week, and it might be just to call your attention to the topic for the week, what you need to do in terms of looking for the course content, the reading, the conferences, and specifically if there's any information, for instance, that you might need to know about the exam. The exams. Let me just go through what this class entails. Reading. The reading in this class is it looks sort of like a bell curve. It starts off small, there's a tremendous amount of reading towards the middle, and then it drops off. The reason it drops off is because I arrange for you to have time to do your course paper, which is another part of the course. In terms of the reading, there are 3 books. Virtual HR by my colleague, Dr. John Jones. It's a relatively easy book to read and quite current, really focuses on current topics in HR, particularly in regards to the internet. The other book is a Tara Perrin's book, edited by Alfred Walker, Web-Based Human Resources, which, if you're in HR, you know that this is the direction that things are going. Not just benefits, but appraisals, recruiting, performance evaluations, everything. It's a very good book, and we'll be reading chapters out of it, of course. The third book is Human Resource Management Systems by Cirillo. Originally published in the early 90s and revised in the late 90s. It is the older of our books. However, the topics in it and how it's presented and written I find very valuable because it doesn't try to explain what web applications you should use. Rather, it goes to the fundamentals of how do you design a system, how do you evaluate the inputs and outputs, how do you arrange it into a process flow, how do you evaluate vendors to plug into that process. It really covers the fundamentals of program management, process management, and of course all the different major functions in HR, benefits, payroll, recruiting, training, are all touched in there. Some of the terms might seem a little dated, like it refers to a mainframe. However, the reasoning, the rationale, and the process behind everything that's in this book is still very relevant today. I would predict that this is one book that you will be able to refer to and get valuable information from in your career in HR. There really are very few more contemporary books as comprehensive as this one is. So it may be a little older, but it's still quite wiser. Let me just talk about the conferences. Each week there'll be a conference question. For instance, the first week is an intro, introduce yourself to the other class members. And then there'll be questions like compare and contrast traditional HR to EHR. And generally the way to answer that would be, of course, to first read the readings to help answer the question, and then address each other, reply to each other in the classroom, bringing in some of your experiences. Weekly assignments are generally short answer questions that pertain to the readings. We do have 2 assignments that are what are study groups, where I'll group you into a few people, probably 3 or 4 people, and you'll be given a task. Each group will have a similar task, but with some different focus. The midterm and the final. First, they're cumulative. So the final exam may have questions from the first half of the class. Of course, the midterm will only have them from the first half of the class. They're short essay, around 3 or 4 questions each, multiple points, partial credit for partial answers. And in fact, in the syllabus, I have a description of these in more detail. The course paper will be a topic of your choosing relevant to the course. Early, before the midterm, I will require you to submit a draft or an outline on a proposed topic, and I'll go through it and review it and give you feedback. Often the topics I see proposed are too global and general. For instance, write a topic on internet HR is just too general. So generally we want to focus it on something like benefits, recruiting, training, excuse me, training, or a topic that's much more manageable. So we're looking for about a 20-page or less paper. Most of them come in around 15 pages. You need to do some research with it. There's material in your text that gets you started, but you'll need to use library resources and internet searches and to document your paper very well according to the APA format that the university requires. In the syllabus is a schedule for the class, what topics we're going to cover, what chapters are assigned. The first week is short, it's not a full week, so I have one short chapter for you to read just to get your mind into the course, and a conference to introduce yourself. So I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. Maybe I'll do another video in the future for this course, because hey, it's fun, and we'll have a great semester, and I'm looking forward to having it work out well. Bye for now.